I'm going to show you how to print and write letters using the Wilton New Practice Board. When we're printing, we want to touch the tip to the surface and then lift it up so that the icing falls, and we then just let the icing fall in a straight line where we want it. This gives us a neater and a straighter line than if we just drag the tip across the surface as we squeeze. It's the same method if you want to do a curving line. You want to touch the tip to the surface so that the icing attaches, and then squeeze as you lift the tip up and then let the icing fall where you want it. You can see you can kind of do some fine tuning and repositioning. So if you want to print letters, you're going to need to break them down into straight lines and curving lines. And it's just a matter of remembering to touch the tip to the surface and then lift it up to let the icing fall where you want it. I usually find that it's easier for H's and A's to do the long side lines first and then come through and do the line across the middle. And then again for the P, I'm going to do a straight line, and then I'm going to do a curving line. Just touch the tip to the icing that I already have down the straight line and then let the icing kind of fall where I want it. When I pipe the Y, I do a short line first, and then I come through and I pause for a second in the middle so that it joins up before doing the tail. And then you just carry on doing the rest of the letters the same way, lifting the tip up slightly and letting the icing fall where you want it. And then you can just go back with a dampened decorator brush and tidy up any peaks or fine tune any letters that you think maybe need a little bit of a touch up. And that's how you write happy birthday. Now, the practice board sheet also shows you how to make these kind of bubble letters, and it's super easy. All you do, it's the same method. You're going to outline the letters using a tip number 3, and then you're just going to go back over them and pipe tip number 2 dots. So it's the same method. Touch the tip to the surface, raise the tip up, let the icing fall where you want it, and then you're just going to overpipe the letters with some tip number 2 dots to give it that kind of bubble look. It's actually quite a nice effect. It's pretty neat. It's a little bit festive, and it gives the icing a little bit more dimension because, you know, it's 2 layers of the icing and not just the one. Just remember that when you make the dot, you hold the tip straight up and down, you squeeze using steady pressure, and then you want to totally release pressure before you pull the bag away so you don't get a little pimple. And sometimes kind of twirling the tip around a little bit helps to make sure that you don't get a peak at the end of your dot. And if you do end up with some peaks on your dots, you can always go back with your dampened decorator brush and tap them back down. But you're just going to pipe these dots over top of where you wrote the letters, and that's going to give you the bubble letters. Not really a technique I would recommend if you're in a hurry, but it is a pretty cool effect. The other kind of nice thing about this method is if your letters aren't totally perfect, it's actually okay, because once you get the dots overpiped on the letters, it'll all kind of look the same. I'm not going to take the time to do the second word, but that's basically what you get. Now you're going to know why whenever you order a cake from a bakery or a grocery store and it says happy birthday, the happy birthday will be written in cursive. It is much quicker and much easier to write in cursive on cakes. Number one is you don't really have to worry so much about the whole lifting the tip and letting the icing fall. You can kind of rest the tip along the surface as you write, and all you have to do is remember to make sure and dot your I's and cross your T's. And same thing with, I'm going to write good luck down here. The practice board gives you directions. It tells you where to start and which way to move your tip. But if you remember third grade cursive, you should be able to handle this. Just remember to keep steady pressure. And there you go.